Hello, sixth grade. It's Miss Josie with our weekly lessons. This week, as you can see, our presentation is Love is Love. I wanted to do a presentation this week about pride, okay? The month of June, our LGBT community is in celebration of pride, okay? Whether they are coming out, whether they are in, they are just representing themselves. Although we represent them all year long, the month of June is dedicated to this community to just be proud and celebrate. A lot of you guys are probably very familiar with this community, maybe not. Last year, me and Mr. Silva helped run a GSA on campus, which is the Gay and Straight Alliance. So those of you who say, maybe I don't identify with this community, we can be allies and learn how to advocate. Okay, so that's what alliances are. Going to get into our presentation to just kind of learn a little bit more about the history and things that maybe these individuals have gone through. They've overcome so much. And so if you haven't really learned much about this community, hopefully this lesson will kind of help you become more in tune of what's been going on over the years for this community. Okay, so just a quick definition. We use LGBTQIA. There's a whole list of acronyms, okay? So basically it is reference to the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transsexual individuals. Q is for questioning, I is intersect, and A is for allies. That's probably you who identify as straight. As we're getting older, we are kind of coming into ourselves and learning about our identity. Here at Darnell, we create a safe space and we create a warm school climate to have any of you guys, we promote acceptance. We want you guys to feel comfortable who you are in your skin. And this is the month where I'm super excited to celebrate with this community, friends and families that identify here. I want to show acceptance and respect and just kind of acknowledge who these people are and what they've gone through. So this lesson is we're going to go into depth, and I'll have a quick clip for you guys to learn about some history. So love is love, whether, we say whether you love a male or a female or however you identify, non-binary, which we don't conform to gender, right? So there's some individuals who don't identify with either sex. And so just kind of educating ourselves in that realm for this community and just being accepting and asking questions if you're a little bit curious. But how does this community celebrate? Well, it's actually pretty fun. They celebrate with parades and events because they have gone through so much. I don't know in your community, but you'll see flags is a great way to represent and show that you're an ally and that you respect these individuals and you support them, okay? If you come into my office, I have a few flags and posters up that show that I do respect and accept this community and provide a safe and warm environment for students and families, okay? And so how would you be celebrating? Well, you can just learn and educate yourself through this lesson today, okay? So maybe it's something that you haven't really talked about, or maybe you haven't learned about in your community or in your family. So hopefully this lesson can give you guys some knowledge about our LGBT community. Skipped way too ahead. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so we ask, why is this important? Well, it's important to understand history and achievements, right? Like us, we like to inform people about our history and our backgrounds, the things that we love, the things that we like, okay? We want to create that space for people to have that dialogue, that back and forth, to communicate these things and just understand what people have gone through. 2020 and 2021 have just been well, your era will be considered the civil rights movements that all you guys have been able to become a part of, right? So one of them would have been Black Lives Matters. Although this has gone through history in so many years, this year and last year, you've seen more protests, people coming out and saying, like, these are our rights, we want rights, and coming out and they're marching and they're protesting, okay? So this is also another community who has done the same over many years. 2021, we are getting a lot better about recognizing how we can educate ourselves and support these communities, okay? Support people who are different and respect and recognize them. And I'm going to show you guys on our next slide. A clip. Actually, we are going way too far. Sorry, Miss Josie's slides are all over the place. So having said that, let's learn a little bit more about our LGBT community history.
Hi there, welcome to Forward. Come on
Okay,
in.
we'll wait for this quick advertisement to skip through. All right, here we go.
Hi there.
Who, me?
Yeah, you seem like an average guy.
Well, I love smoothies and drive a Prius, if that's what you mean.
Exactly. Quick question. Have you ever thought how your life might be different if you were gay?
Not really. I guess it would be a little harder. Wait, was that homophobic? Oh God, I'm really sorry.
This is a safe space, Carl.
My name is Mark.
Whatever. You're right, though. Being gay has its challenges, but it hasn't always been like this.
Like the Greeks?
Absolutely. The earliest evidence of gay relationships is from ancient Greece, although that was mostly about older and younger men. Did you know Socrates was in the closet?
I didn't. I also didn't know they had closets back then. When did all the crazy homophobia start?
Homophobia seemed to start in the church during the High Middle Ages.
Whoa.
And in the Renaissance, it got even worse.
What happened?
Well, if you were outed, let's just say it would have been bad.
Ah,
There were still plenty of brave people who revolted. On August 31st, 1512, a group of young aristocrats living in Florence staged what many consider history's first gay rights demonstration. But that didn't stop homophobia from migrating to colonial America. In 1776, being gay in any of the Puritan colonies was not allowed.
geez. So when did things start to change for the better?
It wasn't until the 20th century that we started to see progress. Gay bars were popping up in major cities, but were frequently raided by the police because being gay was still illegal in every state except Illinois.
Go Bears.
Exactly. One of these bars was the popular Stonewall Inn in New York City. On the morning of June 28th, 1969, which also happened to be the day of Judy Garland's funeral, the patrons of the Stonewall Inn decided they weren't going to take it.
Hell yeah.
A Black transgender woman named Marsha P. Johnson is credited with leading the uprising that started the modern gay rights movement and putting the T in LGBT. Now, every November, the T's and their supporters recognize Transgender Awareness Week.
This is great. It seems like things were going pretty well.
For a while.
A while? What happened next?
Well, in the early 80s, the world was hit by the AIDS epidemic, and the gay community was hit hardest. AIDS became known as a gay disease. In fact, it was originally called GRID, which means gay-related immune deficiency.
No way.
It's true. Many people think that the government didn't act quickly enough because it was considered a gay disease. So the LGBTQ community had to fight it themselves.
So how did they fight it?
They got organized. Activist groups like ACT UP, the Gay Men's Health Crisis, Lesbian AIDS Project, and the Names Project emerged and refused to be ignored. This newly empowered gay community had one goal.
What was that?
To come out. They thought the problem with homophobia was that people didn't know other people who were gay. And if more people came out, they would be seen for who they are and not just as a stereotype. Convincing people to come out was still a tough task, but things got easier in 1997 when Ellen appeared on the cover of Time magazine and told the world, yep, I'm gay. After that, more and more gay people started appearing in TV and movies, helping millions feel more confident to love who they want.
Wow, what a journey. I'm kind of digging myself as a gay person.
Slow down. We're not done just yet.
But we've come so far. Can we just celebrate for a minute?
No time for that, Carl. We still have a lot of laws to change.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Being gay was more accepted, but there were still a lot of rights that gay people didn't have. However, they did have something they didn't have before.
What?
Allies. Yeah, in 2003, Massachusetts became the first state to legalize marriage equality. And 12 years later, it was legal in all 50 states, much in thanks to a majority of Americans who supported it. So as a gay person living in 2019, how would you feel?
Pretty happy I live in the present, grateful for all the heroes who fought before me, and hopeful for the future.
I'm glad, because the fight for equality is still going. It takes a village, and we're going to need your help.
So hopefully this video kind of just gave you a time capsule for this community and kind of just recognizing them more and understanding kind of what they've gone through. I know it's been kind of hard. Oh, one second there. Sorry, get my screen back to you guys. So yeah, hopefully that video kind of just shared a lot of new knowledge that maybe you guys were unaware of. Of course, learning about new people's cultures and communities and kind of what they've gone through can be very overwhelming. But just imagine if if you were back in the day, as you can see it started from decades ago, right? So to live in the now in this generation, we are grateful. We definitely have way more rights than we did many, many years ago. And we do have so much more to overcome. Like we said, certain laws are still, being in place where it is hard for these people to actually live a normal life. A lot of individuals who identify with this community do struggle with them themselves. And like the video said, the more allies and people who support equality are only going to help us move forward. Okay. And so here at Darnell, we want to present this warm and welcoming school for all students and families and even faculty. Okay, we are accepting. And if you guys have any more questions about this, you guys don't hesitate. You can come to my office. You know where I am. I'm sure your teachers would be happy to talk to you more about it if you're curious. But because it is Pride, I thought that this would be an amazing lesson to kind of talk to you guys about. And yeah, and I mean, if you guys have questions with your friends or if you're comfortable, you can talk amongst your peers about celebrating, LGBT. Maybe you have family members who identify with the community and just kind of making them feel supported and accepted through this month. So hopefully that clip kind of went through history and kind of just showed you a little bit of clips of the LGBT community and what we can do to continue supporting them. Okay. You know where my office is if you guys have any more questions, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your week.